The Power of Positive Thinking, a story that can change your life. The world doesn't change when we wish it to. It changes when we do. What you believe becomes how you live, and how you live becomes your future. In a small village, an old woman knew the secret to a lighter heart and a better life, and all it took was a thought. In a quiet village, where dusty paths curved beneath old trees, there lived an elderly woman with silver hair like moonlight and a face marked by time, but softened by kindness. Her eyes sparkled with warmth, like the sun shining through winter clouds. Though she had no husband, he had passed many years ago, and no children, she was never bitter. Her little house, nestled near the roots of a giant banyan tree, was always open to those in need, and her heart even more so. The villagers adored her, not because she was wealthy or powerful, but because she was something rare, always smiling, even when the rains failed, even when food was short, even when sickness crept through the village. Her joy was not loud, but steady, not made of laughter, but of peace. She would often sit beneath the banyan tree, greeting those who passed with a nod, a kind word, or simply her presence. People said her smile could make even the clouds pause. One day, a young woman named Radha came to her. Her face was pale from worry, her eyes swollen from tears. "I don't know what to do," Radha whispered, her voice trembling. "My husband went to the city to find work, but he hasn't sent anything back. My children are hungry. I'm scared, so scared." The old lady looked at her with quiet love. "Sit with me, my child," she said. "Now tell me, what is it that you fear will happen?" "I don't know," Radha said, wiping her tears. "What if he can't find work? What if he forgets us? What if we're left with nothing?" The old woman nodded slowly, her gaze calm like still water. "When we feed ourselves with fear," she said, "we become weaker. But when we feed our hearts with hope, even in darkness, we find light." Radha shook her head. "But how can I think hopeful thoughts when everything feels so hopeless?" The old lady smiled gently. "Let me tell you a story." Radha leaned in, and the world around them fell quiet. "There was once a man," the old woman began, "who had nothing, not a coin in his pocket, not a roof over his head, not even a friend to share his sorrow. One day, he sat by a river and cried. An old woman, perhaps not so different from me, saw him and asked, 'Why do you weep?' 'Because I have nothing,' he said bitterly. 'No food, no money, no family. I am empty. How can I be happy?' The woman didn't argue. She simply pointed to the river and said, 'You have this water. You have the trees around you, the wind that touches your face, the sun above your head. These are gifts. You are not empty. You are surrounded by life.' The man frowned, but he looked, really looked. He saw the sunlight dancing on the water. He saw a bird fly past. He saw his own hands, strong, still capable. And for the first time in days, his tears stopped. His breathing slowed. He felt still. Nothing magical happened that day. No treasure fell from the sky, but something inside him shifted, and from that day forward, he began to see. Not what he had lost, but what he still had. The old woman turned to Radha. You see, my dear, that man's life didn't change because of luck. It changed because of perspective. Positive thinking doesn't erase our problems, but it gives us the strength to face them. Radha sat in silence for a moment. Then she asked, "Can that really change my life?" "Yes," the old lady replied, "but only if you believe it. If you wake each morning and say, 'Today will be a good day,' you will find the strength to try, to care, to keep going. If you fill your mind with fear, it will freeze you. But if you fill it with hope, it will carry you forward." Radha nodded. Slowly, something inside her began to stir. Not joy, not yet, but a little warmth, a little strength. "I will try," she whispered. "I will think good thoughts." "That," the old woman said, "is the first step," and so Radha left. Each day, she repeated the old woman's words. Each day, she told herself, "Today will be a good day." She worked. She cared for her children. She waited. But now, she waited with hope instead of fear. Weeks passed, and then one morning, a letter arrived. Her husband had found work in the city. He was sending money. He was coming back. Radha ran to the banyan tree, her face glowing, her heart full. "It worked!" she cried. "He found work. He's coming home." The old woman smiled. You see, when we choose to think good thoughts, we invite good things into our lives, not because life becomes perfect, but because we become stronger. From that day on, the villagers began to seek her out more often. They came with troubles, with fears, with heavy hearts, and she gave the same gentle advice. Think good thoughts, speak them, live them, and life will begin to change. She had no riches to give, no miracles to perform, but her words, like seeds, grew in every heart they touched. And so we remember, life will always have storms. But when we fill our minds with hope, we build the strength to walk through them. Positive thinking isn't about pretending everything is perfect. It's about believing that no matter how dark today feels, tomorrow can still hold light. If this story helped brighten your day and reminded you of the quiet power you already carry within, subscribe to our channel for more stories that speak gently to the heart. We'll be here, waiting with the next one.